All right, welcome to another episode here on the Property Guy, and this time we'll be looking at the Lagos traffic, how people move during the morning, how people move during the evening, and this is not a Lamata show, but primarily why we are talking about the Lagos traffic is because the movement of people have a big say on the demograph of a particular location, and the demograph of a particular location has a big say in the demand in a particular location, and demand has a big say on the real estate in a particular location. Primarily, if you want to understand real estate in any city in the world, you want to understand the demand the demand in that city, and how you can understand the demand in that city is for you to understand the demograph driving the demand in that city. So one of the big factors, one of the big influencers on real estate in Lagos is the Lagos traffic, the traffic around that location, how people move in that location. Now, for a big part of Lagos, there are places where people actually stay, and in most scenario, these places are always different from where they actually work. So we have hubs, administrative hubs in Lagos, where we have the top offices, the top headquarters, the top businesses, and because of rent, accommodation, affordable housing, we also have different hubs where that's where people actually stay. Now, we'll be starting with the mainland, the Lagos mainland, and there is no way we are going to be talking about Lagos traffic, Lagos mainland traffic, that we won't talk about the third mainland bridge. This is third mainland bridge over the lagoon here, coming right from Shoki, passing to Ogudu, then the lagoon, then we have the interchange to Ebute Meta that goes straight to Yaba, and then we have the final ring road that links down to Marina. So now in the morning, the traffic here in the morning is for people coming from the mainland going to the island. And what this simply means is that there are more people coming from the mainland to the island in the morning than people coming from the island going to the mainland. So which means that the bulk of people that work on the island, particularly that work around Marina, that work around Obalende, that work around Awolowo Road in Ikoyi, Falomo, Osborne, a big bulk of these people are coming from the mainland. They are either coming from Ipaja, Alapere, Ogudu, Ikosi, Gbagada, Oshodi axis, and some people are even coming as far back as from Mowe, Magboro, or even from Songo, and they go to the island daily. They go to Marina, VI, CMS, Obalende daily. So the traffic shows that more people are coming to the mainland, coming to the island from the mainland during in the morning in the early hours. So unlike the traffic back from the island back to the mainland is always free. So which shows that there are less people leaving Ikoyi, leaving Obalende, leaving VI to go work on the mainland in the morning. All right, now, so let's talk about the Lekki Epe Expressway also. The Lekki Epe Expressway, via the Falomo Bridge, the Lekki Epe Expressway connects to Ikoyi, and via the Ozumba and Badiway, the Lekki Epe Expressway also connects to the Victoria Island. Now, on the Lekki Epe Expressway during the morning also, we have a similar pattern whereby people coming from Aja, people coming from Chevron, that's where the traffic is. So the traffic in the morning is towards Lekki Phase 1. The traffic in the morning is towards Jakonde or Sakpa. The traffic in the morning is towards Ikate. Whereas people coming from Lekki Phase 1, coming from VI, coming from Ikate, back towards Aja or back towards Ibejuleki is always free. Which means that people coming from Aja, Songotedo, those are the people walking around the Chevron, walking around the Lekki Phase 1 axis. Unlike people living in the Lekki Phase 1, going back into the Aja or back to the Bejuleki axis. As a matter of fact, most of the people that are taking this route in the morning and that are going to the direction of Aja, going to the direction of Songotedu, 80-90% of them are going to sites, which means that they have a project in Bejuleki, they have a project around Abijo. These are construction workers majorly, or they are going to site, they are going to Epe, surveyors, estate people, real estate people, realtors maybe, and For some people, it may also be people that have projects or they have works they are doing inside the free trade zone or around the Dangote refinery. All right, on our property of the day episode today is this project by Landmark Corporate Realty at Opik Isheri on the mainland. So there is fully detached duplex here with penthouse. There is terrace duplex here with BQ, and there is semi-detached here with BQ selling on off plan. Just like I've advised before, when the project is like 70-60% delivery, then it's safer when you are buying that on off plan. So you can see that most of the houses here, a lot of them have been roofed and a lot of the interior finishing have started. So it's very, very much safe for a lot of investors to invest here right now. And when you look at the income class at Opik Isheri, because of Magodo, because of Omole, the income class here are the higher middle class, so you get very good rental value here. And even if you just want to buy and flip, this is also a very good location for you to consider that. You can see a lot of infrastructures are already here: electricity, the sports center, the roads, the street in the estates, and this is a buy ready to live location already. So you have nothing to fear at all if you want to invest here. So if you need details about this property, the prices, the payment plan, feel free to reach out to us. And if you're also looking at something around like this, either on the mainland or on the island, then we can also advise you on different projects that you can invest in. So let's go back into the video. We'll be talking about that later. All right, now let's talk more about the central mainland this time around. Let's look at the Ikeja axis. The Ikeja axis. Now there is a similar pattern around the Ikeja axis also, and this time around, the bulk of the people, the bulk of the traffic is at this axis, which is people coming from the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, coming from Ayepo, coming from Opik, coming from Mowe, coming from Magbo. A big bulk of these people walks around the Ikeja, or they are finding their way down to Oshodi. They are finding their way down to Oshodi here. So the people that trade, people that work in most of these offices, they stay mostly after Ojodubega, and there are also still people that work and stay around this axis too, but those are people that earn very well. And as well, another traffic towards Ikeja are for people coming from the Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, which are people coming from Kola, people coming from Alagbado, people coming from Songo, Ifo, that works around 7 Up, works around Ogba, that's around the Guinness side. And for some of them, they also work, maybe do their business or do their trade around Ladipo, or do their business around Oshodi in the market there. So now, why is it important to understand all this demograph is when you are doing real estate is demand based. You want to understand the audience that is driving that demand. You want to understand that demograph, you want to understand their preferences, and most importantly, you want to understand their income class. Now, let's move into talking about income class now. Now, for these people working around the Ikoyi, working around VI, for the top earners, that are working around this axis, they also preferably stay around this axis too. So they stay in Lekki Phase 1, stay in Ikate Max. Now, but for the clerks, the secretaries, a lot of them, they can't afford to stay here. So they either choose to stay at the Songotedo after Aja axis, or they stay on the mainland around the Oroshoki, Ketu, Ikosi, Ogudu, Alakbere axis. This might even be family people also. Now, for the Ikorodu road also, we have a similar demograph around the Ikorodu road, which is the road that goes from Surulere down to Fadeyi, down to Obanikoro, Anthony, Maryland, past to Ojota to Ketu, and then straight into Ikorodu, Majidun, and all those axes. We are also going to realize that in the morning too, the traffic is inwards towards Lagos. So most of these people here also, you have people that work in Maryland that stay in Ikorodu, you have people that work around Surulere, that work around Yaba, that works around Anthony, and are coming from Ikorodu every every day. And towards the evening, we see a shift in the traffic. So the traffic is from people coming from the busy Lagos going back to Ikorodu, which means that this time around, these people are going back home. Now, why you want to understand these demographics is particularly if you want to run a business. Now, the thing why a lot of people complain about businesses not working in Nigeria is because most times you don't have a business plan. Because we have the money, have the few experience, we can afford to rent an office or rent a shop or rent a store in a place, employ people, start offering the service or start selling the products. We don't do an analysis of who are our target customers. Where are these people located? What are their languages? What's their income class? So we don't even know if our product is even affordable for the audience that we are targeting, or even if our target audience are even around the place where we are running our business. So, but with the understanding of the traffic movement around this particular location, these different locations, you understand the locations where there are family people, the locations where there are symbols, the location where is factory people that are there. So the factory people, a lot of them, they stay in the factory from Monday to maybe Friday or Saturday. It's Saturday, a lot of them go back home. So there are some certain business you can run there, and there are some certain business that you can't run there because they are not fully based there. There are some places in Lagos where you drive around on a Sunday, everywhere is empty, everywhere is dry. It's because it's the people that come there to work that make the place busy. Anytime there is an holiday or there is a vacation, no business works because the people that thrive that business, they are not there. Now, for the location where a lot of us are now investing now, which is the location that we term the new Lagos, the Bejuleki, the Epe axis. Some investors have been buying the Bejuleki for the past 4 years, buying the Bejuleki for the past 6 years, buy from almost all the estate companies that are there, FKC, both from Andron, both from Veritazi, both from Gracias, just buy from almost every company. You also need to understand the target markets, the demand, and also the traffic that is also driving why we are calling this place the new Lagos. And to be very frank, one of the reasons why a lot of you guys are buying this location so much is because you guys are not here. Assuming you are here and you see some of this location yourself, you are not going to buy. But at least for me to just give you an idea of what this location are. Now, after Songotedu, we have a lot of different locations. We have Bogije, we have Lakwe, we have Eluju, we have Eleko towards the refinery and then towards the airport side. Now, for a lot of this location, the traffic in this location, people move upward. So, which means that most of the people that stay, the few people that stay in Bogije, stay in Eleko, stay in Lakwe, stay in Eputu right now, they are moving upward in the morning. They are going to Songotedo where their office is. They are going to Lekki Phase 1 where their office is. They are going to Chevron. They are going to Kate where their office is. Only a few of them is moving backward towards this axis because there is not much happening around this axis yet. So the traffic is upward, and during the evening the traffic is downward, which is people coming from Ikate, people coming from Aja, people coming from Lekki Phase 1 that are going back home, that stay in Bogije, that stay in Lakwe. And a lot of these people here, they can't work here. The only business that people in Lakwe, Bogije, Putu, Awoyaya, they can do, for a lot of them that maybe the administrative works that they can do is to work in a real estate company. Apart from real estate company, maybe few supermarkets that are there, finish. Apart from that, they have to go after some Gotedo or go to after Chevron to look for at least opportunities, offices where they can do secretary or do receptionist work. We need to understand this thing. Now, for the few people that are moving backward, that's from Bogije, Lakwe, are people going to sites. Maybe they are bricklayers, they are artisans, they are masons, they are project managers, they are surveyors. So they have different sites around this axis where maybe an estate, a project, a construction, or another people that you are going to see moving downward towards this area in the morning are people that work in the free trade zone. And yes, there are a lot of expatriates, there are a lot of Indonesian companies, Indians, Lebanese that are already having businesses, Chinese that already have businesses inside the free trade zone, and a lot of them don't stay inside the free trade zone. They stay around this axis. They stay around some estates in Abijo, some estate in Lakwe, some estate in Aoyaya. That's where they stay. And in the morning, with their staff boss, they take their staffs towards the free trade zone. Now, the positive and the reason why you guys are investing and positioning around this location is that because this place is just starting, and this movement of people from Bogije, from Lakwe, from Eputu, from Awoyaya backward towards this axis is just coming. You want to wait for that demand. You want to wait for that population that is coming based on the free trade zone that is there, based on the seaport that is there, based on the airport that is coming, based on the other businesses that the seaport will also influence, other businesses that the refinery will also influence, other businesses that the free trade zone will also influence. So at some point, the movement of people from Awoyaya, from Lakwe will not be upward again, towards Songotedo or towards the Chevron axis, but people will start also going backward towards this axis also, to walk around the free trade, to walk around Eleko, to walk around the seaport, because that place have start thriving. But that place is not thriving yet. Now, is not thriving yet for now. Now, another, so with this explanation now is becoming clearer, and that's why most times when I clamor about don't buy only this location, don't buy only this location, don't buy only this location, is not to undermine the potential of that particular location, but it's just to position yourself so that you don't wait your entire life. A lot of people have started putting their property in Bejuloki in the market, maybe put their portfolio share, that bought Akodo share and so on. You are not going to see buyers because nothing is happening in that axis yet. You still have to hold. You are still at holding period. So it's you that went there and go and buy 15 plots or go and buy 20 plots when you simply just have to diversify. All right, so now continuously let's analyze it further in terms of all these movement, traffic movement. So I've explained it. We have more people coming from the mainland towards the third mainland bridge in the morning, and then the traffic moves in the evening again. The traffic is for people coming from the island towards the mainland in the evening. So one of the coolest places, or the coolest way you can move in Lagos is if you maybe stay around the Ikoyi and you work in Ikeja. In the morning you are against traffic, in the evening you are against traffic. All right, this traffic is very, very important to understand this traffic. Except if you don't understand it, living in Lagos will be a hell for you. Now we have Ilupeju here, we have the Mushin axis also, we have the Oshodi axis here. These places are also very, very busy places. Now Lagos is divided based on income classes. A lot of the location in Lagos, somehow psychologically and economically, it has been divided that some certain areas are for some certain income classes. And that's why I always advise it that any area where you see that the income class that is moving to that place are like the middle class or the higher middle class, always be there early, because it will pay you. Those are the people that can pay you the best. If all your investments are in location where the only people that are targeting or that are moving to that location are the lower middle class or the low income earners, is not going to pay, because it will be very, very difficult for you to increase your rent, or very, very difficult for you to just want to say that you want that property has gone 200% or 300% returns. But for a lot of locations where is the higher middle class, is the higher income earners that are driving that demand in that location, it makes sense. Ilupeju, Maryland, some part of Bagada also, the higher middle class, Yaba, Surulere, the middle class, the higher middle class. And for the new Lagos, locations around the Monastery Road in Songotedo, the middle class and the higher middle class are the people that are being attracted there. At the road, around at the road also in Ajah, the higher middle class that are being attracted there. And there are some projects at the tail end here. Don't just buy any land. Try to look at the people that are building around the places, the kind of development, the kind of value that the property around that place have, so that you can position for the people that actually have the money. It's those are the people that are going to pay you very well. So between Lakwe to Eleko to the airport side, they're also very very good location where is that is attracting the high middle income class and also the high income earners. You also want to be there. Now each income class have their preferences. If I'm earning 10 million, my preferences are is different from someone that is earning 2 million. If I'm earning 20 million, my preferences is different from someone that is earning 10 million. If I'm earning 50 million, my preferences change again. Our priority in life always change based on our income. As we earn more, our taste changes. So you also need to understand that so that your property will not become obsolete, particularly if what you are trying to do is rental income. You always want to meet the preferences of the demography that is around the location where your property is. Rent in Songotedu is higher than Lakwe right now. It's because of the income class that are there. Rent around Lagos Business School, rent around Lagos Business School is higher than rent around Sky Mall. That's another thing. Rent around the Novere Mall in Songotedu is higher than rent around Sky Mall, even though Sky Mall is closer. But that's because of the estate and the income class around the Monastery Road attracted by the ShopRite in Songotedu are different from people that are staying around Sky Mall. So these different preferences is another thing. Amen Estate is like around an hour after Songotedu, and the property there is almost the same value as Songotedu. That's because of the kind of preferences and the kind of income class that that place is also attracting. Particularly the moment that everybody realized that Jennifer was staying there, then before you know it, some other celebs also started staying there. And before you know it, their fans also started buying there because they wanted to stay around a place where they know that okay, this particular person, this particular role model is also staying in the estate. So these are the different these are the different factors. There are some estates right now in around the Bamade, that's where all the top influencers or the top video influencers, that's where they are staying. And before you know it, the value of real estate, the value of rental income in that place is going to rise because other people who are their fans also want to stay there because they feel like if this social person is staying there, that means that place is safe, that place is cool. So me too, I want to stay there. So the rental value moves up. So these are different things that are driving the demand and that are driving the real estate value of Lagos. You must understand this traffic movement. It's very very important, particularly if you are eyeing rental income. I've got this objection a lot of time where people are like, I don't want to buy anything for rent, I don't want to do rental investment. How many years do I have to wait before I get my money? How many it will take forever when I buy so amount. See, rental income is a long-term game. But you don't have to wait forever if you invest rightly. There are some people that their property in Ilopeju were built maybe in 2002 or built around 2004 and they're still collecting 3 million naira rent. And they built that property when cement was maybe 500 or 600. There are some property in Maryland that were built even around the late 90s and are still collecting 2 or 3 million naira rent. So if you invest in the right income classes and for the right income brackets, you are still going to make a lot of money because the property will keep compounding your money, and just like you just going to the tree every time and just reaping a fruit anytime you are tasting. So rental income is very very fantastic, but you must understand the demography. Is another very nice place. Isolo, Ajao estates, all these very nice areas also, they attract the very good income class, the people that earn very well. And you also, as you are buying Moe, as you are buying Magboro, as you are buying Moe Father, you also want to understand the kind of income class of the people there. So you don't go and build what people there cannot afford, what they cannot rent, and your house will be there empty. So, but if you build the right or the perfect fit for the income class there, definitely they are going to rent your property and you are still going to make your money. One thing about real estate is the capital that you are putting into the project or into the investment also determine your return. If you are putting in 20 million, you can't make the same return as someone that is putting in 200 million. It's as simple as that. If you are putting in 2 million, you can't make the same return as the person that is making putting in 20 million. So it's garbage in, garbage out. What you put in determines also what you get in the end. So these are the different traffic movement, these are the different demographics. So if you are saying a particular location can do this, and that's why when we started Alagbado, I started advising people buy Alagbado, because we know the income class that was going to that axis. Now we have another project around the Gbogbo also. We know the income class that will go to that axis again. So Opikisheri, Arepo, we know the income class that are going to these locations. That's why property there can go 50%, property there can go 60% in appreciation value within 2 years, within 3 years, because of the income class that is driving it. So we can understand the demographic, we can understand the income class. You can invest for buy and flip, you can invest for rental income, and you are definitely not going to regret it. So I'm always here for you, definitely analyzing, breaking down this investment for you. If there's any location you are looking at, definitely I'm going to advise you based on what we have there, what you have in our portfolio selling. And if that location doesn't actually fit what you are trying to do, I'll also advise you accordingly and tell you that, oh, there's a better location where you can get even better return for your money based on the demographic and based on the demand in that location.